So I spoke to Dai Rosenblum, a bankruptcy attorney. And as we were talking, he said, credit's evil. And I said, credit's evil? What do you mean? Now, he didn't know I ran 720 credit score and I wrote 7 steps to 720 credit score. Tell me what, why? I said, you might have a little bit of a showdown. Let's just, bankruptcy attorney thinks credit's evil versus person who doesn't think credit's evil. Let's talk about it.
All right. The ability to tolerate dissent is a sign of intelligence.
The what?
The ability to tolerate dissent is a sign of intelligence.
Well, I've never heard that before, but thank you for the compliment.
I assure you could go to Psychology Today and find a zillion articles that would say that.
Good. I appreciate it. Dude, I love the fact that you brought this up. Okay, so let's talk.
It wasn't on our list.
No, it wasn't. This is it, but this is actually, I think, will be one of the greatest of it because I love just going back and forth on this. So, okay. Is credit needed after bankruptcy? The reason why I have Dai Rosenblum on this call today is because he's a bankruptcy attorney practicing for 43 years and he's against credit. Right, Dai? Am I correct?
That is absolutely correct.
You're like, hey, you do not need credit. Credit is evil. I think that's what you said, or correct me.
Exactly what I said.
Okay, so tell me why credit's evil. Let's do a head-to-head conversation right now on why you think credit's evil, why you think after bankruptcy or before bankruptcy, whatever your thesis is on credit, and then we'll try to argue our points, and let's see if we can convince each other.
Okay.
Okay, so kick us off.
All right, so there are only 3 things you should ever borrow money for.
Okay.
A place to live,
Mm-hmm.
a vehicle, and if you have a job, you can always get a vehicle loan.
Okay.
You see billboards, you hear radio ads, bad credit, no credit, bankruptcy, divorce, come to us.
I agree.
And a college education.
Okay.
Only the 1% can write a check for a semester of college.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you should lead a credit-free life.
Okay.
So the example I said before, so you go and buy a used refrigerator for $600 and put it on your credit card.
Yes.
And it's probably going to be over 20% because they all are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if all you do is make the minimum payments, which is all anybody can afford to do,
right,
by the time you're done paying for that refrigerator, you will have spent $1,800 for a $600 refrigerator. It is legalized loan sharking.
Yeah.
So when you buy a refrigerator and put it on a credit card, instead of taking $1,200 cash dollars and flushing it down the toilet all at once,
right.
You take the same $1,200 and flush it down the toilet a little at a time.
Yeah.
All right. So the other side of this coin is you have to save.
Mm-hmm.
What I tell all my clients is when your bankruptcy is over, everybody has automatic deposit. Go to your branch wherever you have automatic deposit. And I say, do you have a savings account there? Most people say yes. I say, but there's nothing in it because as soon as you put something in, you have to take it out again. Well, yeah. So you make what banks call an automatic sweep.
Mm-hmm.
Take 10% of your take home,
right out.
round it off so it's the same every pay.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say you bring home $1,200 a pay, which is not a lot. $120 every pay automatically goes to your savings account, and this is your emergency fund.
Okay.
Just like you have to pay your car insurance, you have to pay your emergency fund.
Yes.
So that way, if the refrigerator dies and you need to go out and get a new refrigerator, instead of borrowing the money and flushing money down the toilet, you have the money.
Yep.
And this reduces your stress.
Yes.
So transmission, oh, I have it in the bank. Oh, hole in the roof, oh, I have it in the bank.
Yeah, don't rely on credit cards. I got it in the bank.
Don't even rely on any kind of credit.
Nothing.
No personal loans, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just create, and at $120 a pay, you will rapidly build up your emergency fund. But if you can't live on 90% of your take home, something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
Right. You must be drug addicts or something.
Yeah.
Which none of my clients have yet to admit to being drug addicts. Yeah.
Okay, so Dai, here, your point. Your point about credit being evil is you only need credit for 3 things, or you need to borrow for 3 things, is your home, your car, and your student loans, right? And you don't need any credit for student loans, right? And now you mentioned, let's go backwards. So the credit on the student loans, you don't need any credit. That's easy because a lot of people getting student loans don't have any credit to begin with.
Right.
With regard to the car, yes, you can go to a buy here, pay here dealership. but you're going to pay 20%, 22%, 25% on that.
You can do that, but let's back this up.
Mhm.
So all right. So your topic is reestablishing credit after bankruptcy.
Yeah, yeah,
Or bankruptcy improves your credit.
absolutely. I
Your
agree.
credit score takes a big ding,
Hmm.
but an intelligent lender is going to see that before you had all this debt,
Hmm.
and now it's all gone. That makes it more likely, not less likely, that you can make your payments.
But
And yeah,
lenders look at what credit was established and what the payment history is after the bankruptcy. And I know that because I was in the lending business for 14 years before I started this.
absolutely.
So the problem is if you have, let's just say 40,000 in debt and you wipe it all away, and now your credit score goes from whatever it is, 650 to 550, and then over time it gets better after the bankruptcy because it does.
Yeah, it just
The
creeps
pro-
up.
right. The problem is without reestablishing some credit after the bankruptcy, right? You look like the redheaded stepchild to a lender. They don't want to lend because they don't know they're looking at your bankruptcy as the last form of credit.
You
Now,
don't have to go to buy writer.
but what do you mean
You
buy
can go.
writer? What do you mean buy writer?
I thought that's the buy here, pay here.
Oh, the buy here, pay here deal. Okay, you're right.
Right. Okay. Uh, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
On the contrary, you have a fresh start. Go to a credit union.
No, right. But a credit union is going to look at what credit was established after the bankruptcy. Now let me change let me argue a different point because I'm not arguing to get credit. Like my whole thesis around credit, 720 credit score, rebuilding your credit after bankruptcy is not to carry any debt. And I'm
Oh,
very clear about this in the program. It's to
all
play
right.
the
Well,
game.
I think you maybe convinced me then.
Okay. It's to
If I
play.
can interrupt, my
Yeah.
understanding is the way you improve your credit score is by borrowing money and making the payments on time.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. So let me nuance that. A lot of people think you got to borrow money and pay monthly payments. That's not the case to rebuild a credit score, right? So for example, in 7 steps of 720 credit score, how to rebuild your credit after bankruptcy. There's three basic steps. I mean, there's more, but you really don't even need to do the three. The number one is you got to get the errors off your credit report because a lot of times, 44% of the time, there's an error on a credit report that doesn't need to be there, right? After
I,
the
I,
bankruptcy.
I would agree with that. And I don't dispute your 44%. And what I always say to my clients is these are very overworked people that enter the data into
Yeah,
these credit reports.
no doubt. And there's errors that come up, mixed files, all these different things, you know, merge files. And the second thing, you need credit, but we do not say carry any balances. So what you do is you get a credit card or two, you need three credit cards, right? But you pay a cable bill on it and have the cable bill or the credit card bill paid automatically by your bank account. No interest is paid, right? No
So
interest
you
is
pay
paid
it down to zero every month.
every single month, right? And
I've read that lowers your credit score.
so I know definitively we've had hundreds of thousands of people through our program. That is not the case. I'm convinced that it's a misconception started by the banking industry because they wanted
Be able to
they
make
want to get
money.
fees. Right.
Yes,
So then the third thing, you need some type of installment line, right? Now, that means if you're getting a car, that would count. So if you're going to get a
absolutely.
car,
Yeah.
or if you're going to get a, like a furniture loan. But we tell people in the program, don't go buy a car and don't get a piece of furniture just to rebuild your credit. You don't need it. Matter of fact, there's credit rebuilder programs out there. We have one for $39. It's the month-to-month thing. As soon as your credit score is 720, you cancel it, right? My point of the whole thing, Di, if you weren't going to borrow credit, or excuse me, if you weren't going to borrow any loan and pay any interest rate, my idea is raise the credit score so you can qualify for the 4% car loan and the FHA loan at 5.5% when you're buying a home. Because after 2 years in bankruptcy, you
2
can
years,
buy that
right?
home.
And that is what I tell my clients.
Okay. Okay. But
All
the
right,
thing
all
is,
right. This is a total eye opener for me, and I totally bought into the idea that if you pay it down to zero every month, that it dinged your credit report.
yeah, it's not the case, but it's a common misconception I hear. Now, the thing is, if someone doesn't rebuild their credit after bankruptcy, they can't get the FHA loan because the FHA loan requires, per the requirement, two new line items opened after the bankruptcy. So it is.
Did
I
you
just
know
share
that?
that with you just because this is what I do.
All right, I get it.
Good. Well, hey, I love the head-to-head comment. I love the if you ever come up with new ideas on why credit's evil, um, please let us know. We'll have you back on.
All right, well, I'm going to change my spiel to my clients now. It's going to be credit is evil, except.
As long as you don't pay interest, right?
Right.
Awesome. Thank you, Di.
You're very welcome, Phil.
Okay.
We've had fun.